each teacher should come to Bread Loaf at least once. And if you come more, great. But like, I feel like it's definitely something that it makes you think things a different way.
And I thought it was going to be very standard and, very rigid. And I got here and I'm like, whoa, this is something really unique.
So the first thing that was really cool was that when we got off the plane, there was someone standing there with a pic with my name on it. And I've never had that.
From the airport, they picked me up from baggage claim, and the ride in the car just felt like I stepped into like a passageway or a gateway into like another dimension that was my creation or our creation, but it was very lovely and wonderful, and everything made sense.
What do you think it could be? Okay, go with that. Or what in your head do you imagine is possible? Make it happen.
To come to a place where everyone's at the same level and that we all have high expectations, not for just ourselves, but for our students and outside the classroom. It just inspired me.
This program has allowed me to be in the company of other visionaries, which is not often, and I think sometimes from the teaching perspective, we're not often looked at in that light.
It's a beautiful thing for people who are so passionate about the lives of youth and this process of it.
Sometimes we feel that we are isolated with the issues. We're not alone anymore, and we have the same problems. And if we want to be educators, those problems have to be solved. And then if we can talk about the problems and we have the same problems, then we can share the solutions as well.
We have the same belief that children, our students, can really make a difference in our world, and we need to lead by example. And sometimes they don't know how, and I'd like to see us as guides to guide them so that they can make a change. And it was just really refreshing, and it's been amazing to be here. And for that to be awakened in me again, it's just, yes.
Even from the moment you said the signs at the airport, I know everyone laughs at it, but it's a distinct marker, a practical marker that was used to show value to us and to foster an environment. Lou, I remember on the first day you said of principles, of creating a democracy that allowed us all to contribute. And then I know you said this is not a model, but it's truly a guide that when we struggle in our classrooms and communities, we can look back to as an example of what is possible. But this certainly serves very practically as a guidepost, as a beacon to say, here's an example of something. Here's an experience I had that was meaningful and in which we all achieved equally and were individually valued.
Andover Bread Loaf has provided an opportunity for me to be treated as a teacher and a human.
In America, we're beaten down, and this is a place that certainly has lifted us up and given us lots of tools to go back to our classrooms in our communities. And I have to say, we were treated like royalty.
Not only are we respected, and we've built that respect, but also what has happened for me is a connection. Because I live in southeastern Arizona, and I'm pretty far out there. Arizona's a hostile state, and I'm right on the border. And Jack is going to be in Tucson, and Chantal and I are talking about connecting our classes, and Umi and Lou are just an email away, and all of you are. And so when I leave here, I'll be taking you with me. Then I'm not so by myself.
There's not a lot of mechanisms in place, which would make a lot of sense, where we say, okay, new teacher, we're going to keep you and maintain and keep your enthusiasm, keep your energy and whatever you brought to the classroom. We're going to find a way to keep that happening. There's not a lot of talk about that. This is actually something that's going to go back and transform the classrooms that the teachers are teaching, and it has the potential to keep doing that. Built in with it is this network that we all have, and the larger network that we're all a part of, that will recycle this energy and keep it going into the future, making it so that the system in the long run is more sustainable.
I can imagine this program in just a few of the schools that are not being successful with students.
You don't get this kind of treatment just anywhere. This feeling of acceptance, this sharing of personal things, this eye-opening experience to all the different cultures.
I remember when I got my itinerary and I look at the price of the ticket, I'm like, is this for real? Do I really have to come here because I don't know the people? I just, converse with Stephanie online or through email, and in the second day, I'm like, no, nobody is going to ask you to write because I've done that, been there, done that, so I don't want to go back there. And then now, my entire philosophy about the program changed because I find myself staying at night writing.
As a math teacher, I'm a math teacher. Writing, it always seemed like something that was really, really hard. I was thinking maybe it's like pushing a boulder up a hill, right? So if I got here, it's like, actually that boulder isn't even a boulder. It's like one of those prop ones from the movie. You can just pick it up and throw it.
And this has become a space where it's mandatory for my development that I have to stay connected to and if possible return to.
This experience has almost felt like some sort of baptism, I guess. Like I feel like I already had a clue in terms of like what I needed to do to work with young people or to bring all of the things that we've discussed to the forefront. But this coming together was like a powerful affirmation or a way of bringing it all together.
I feel so thankful. Thank you so much.
And
I'm a junkie, yeah.
and depict